Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is William Michael Forbes. I want to welcome you to Supernatural Saturday. And I have the honor of having Master Saint Germain with me today, who actually led a meditation yesterday on my YouTube channel called Transmuting Human Fear. And you can see it on my YouTube channel. And he's here today to talk about the principles behind why this meditation is so useful, why it needs to be applied and practiced, not just in terms of transmuting the fear of the world and people that are in it, but our own lives, being able to transform and transmute our lives too. Um, let's just do a quick sound check here. Hi, Christine. Hi, Moonlight. We're going to wait a couple minutes for people to get on, but this is going to be a really exciting day today. Uh, do I have sound? Hi, Giovanna. Yeah. No, Saint Germain after the meditation yesterday said we'll be coming back, so I need to explain exactly why I did this meditation and why it actually works and how people can apply it in other areas of their lives in general. Hi. Do I have a good sound check, folks? Good. Thank you very much, Kate. I appreciate that. So yeah, he's been like, his energy is so heart-centered today. Like, it's like I literally feel like my heart is like 10 times its normal size. And that's not unusual, but for him it is. Usually he comes more in a line straight up and down through me and just comes from a feeling of just pure love. But today it's like my heart is like expanded like 10 times its actual size. And he's saying to me right now that's because the field of energy that's being generated is being projected out through the heart. He says it's very important to project energy deliberately and intentionally with specific feelings behind it. And yeah, it's interesting. So for those of you that did the meditation with us yesterday, it was pretty amazing to think that we actually affect everything around us by what we think and feel. Most people don't know this. They really don't understand that what they're thinking, what they're feeling is actually creating a reality that they call their life. And Saint Germain says it's very simple to understand how you can change your world very rapidly. It does not have to take a huge amount of effort. The old model of trying to fight change through physical means and agencies is coming to a conclusion. And the age of being literally and deliberately transform states and conditions that you call your life is now dawning upon the consciousness of humanity. And many of us are here to help you with that process. He's saying there are simple things you can do every day to make your life better. And in turn, how you improve your life will affect others. Yes. So in the meditation, he had us move our awareness. I'm trying to recall it now because I haven't watched the review. I usually have to watch the reviews of things to really understand it. But the basic principle he's saying is that when you go into an emotional energy, whether that's a joy or fear or guilt or shame, when you go into an emotional energy, you are creating a movement of energy. You're creating an emotional movement of energy. And that movement of emotional energy ripples out into your world and causes changes within you and around you. Your biology is always affected first. Your biology is always affected first by the emotions you choose to give attention to. And yet you can easily learn to take your attention off any emotions that do not please you. And in that process, you'll reduce or eliminate the ongoing effects of those particular states. He says, we see this a lot in people that are suffering from chronic anxiety and intense depression. They continue to hold on to or focus upon the very thing they're seeking to get rid of. It is kind of like putting a blind over your eye and saying you cannot see. All you have to do is take the blind off your eye. So how do you change your world? How do you generate an emotion if you do not know how to do so? If you've never been taught that you can create a new feeling or that you can change the conditions in the world around you and in the people around you merely by being connected deliberately and intentionally to a particular feeling and then enabling that feeling to grow with your attention to it. When you put your attention on specific states or emotions or ideas, you give them your life. The very life that is given to you, you give to that which you give attention to. You are deliberately and intentionally allowing your life force, the force of your life, to manifest as the existing conditions of your current reality, as individuals and as a global collective. Now, those that are stuck in the believability that they are just these physical bodies, that emotions are not something that they can change, well, the struggle is much harder for them. But for those of you that know you can move your awareness and your attention outside, beyond emotional frameworks that do not support you or sustain you, you then move into a position where you can begin to create deliberately and intentionally changes in the energy within your body and within the space and the time around your body. He says there is only one moment of time that you can do this. You cannot do this tomorrow. You can only do this now. It does not work with delay. You cannot say, I want to create more love in my life tomorrow. You must learn to create more love in your life now. You must learn to understand how to engage, cultivate, nurture that feeling within you. And as you do that, that feeling that you nurture within you begins to expand and grow and evolve. That evolution produces a movement in energy outside and beyond the physical form if you maintain it long enough. Many of you will only go to, oh, I feel good for a moment, and then you let it go. And the energy does not much more than maybe affect a few molecules in your body. But if you are willing to stay with that vibration of love, if you are willing to maintain the concept that you can change this fear that you're feeling into a whole new energy, and you can feel it as you decide you will imbue it with this vibration of love, the fear will begin to change. And the fear will change around you. It will dissipate. It will go away as you impregnate it with love. The love will transform that energy. And as you transform that energy within you, it transforms it around you. And the greater the intensity, the greater the length and the distance of that energy in this physical world. Know that this physical world is an effect of non-physical potentials that were actualized by many of you many lifetimes ago, from many places, many dimensions. This reality is a manifestation of undifferentiated energy into its differentiated form as you see them with your senses this day. My reason for being here today is to address your concerns about how you may, in your part, in your way, transform the conditions that you see in the world around you and within you, how you may apply this meditation more deliberately and precisely in your own life. And we will begin with questions. There are simple questions about how you can end your suffering. There are very simple ways of doing this, as long as you have some understanding of what you believe love or joy or happiness might be for you. It is a creation. Your fear is a creation. Your love is a creation. Your depression is a creation. And you have the capacity and the ability to change them anytime you so choose. My goal here today is to give you that opportunity to experience that within yourself, and then observe the phenomena in the world around you. For as you hear these physical vibrations called words coming from the form of this one here, you also realize that there's a vibration imparted within the words, a frequency, if you like, that allows you to be stimulated subjectively into an awareness of a frequency of transformation, a higher vibration of intelligence and consciousness that is naturally who you truly are, beyond the physical body, but you are also able to remain in and express this through your physical body. You can remake this whole system, and it is very easy, and we will show you. Wow. Hi, Janine. Hi, Bogmila. Good morning. Wow. This is a question. Moon, your question about money is very simple. You think the issue is that of manifesting money, but it is not an issue of manifesting money. It is an issue of manifesting the qualities of emotion that would represent the condition you would experience yourself in if you had money. You cannot have money tomorrow, but you can create money tomorrow by having it in your consciousness now as a vibrational, knowing the experience of the joy and the excitement that you might have in having this extra money or this abundance, whatever label you choose to give to it. All of the conditions in your life are a direct effect of the emotional energies that you choose to maintain your focus and attention upon. And the moment you take your focus and attention off those things, you will liberate yourself from the conditions that those old emotions created. Are you willing to engage in a vibration of joy and excitement in the present moment and to stay there, to not be detracted from that? If your old self perpetuating poverty and suffering and lack and limitation surfaces in your life as a bill or a lack, are you willing to stay in that vibration of joy and possibility? If you do in this moment and maintain the moment as you maintain the moment, you will see the change occur. But what you tend to do most times is you go, I am abundant, I am abundant. And then you look around and you don't see it. So, oh, it's not there yet. And then you go back and you keep doing this back and forth. You never go anywhere. It's like trying to go up an escalator that's coming down. You will never go anywhere. You must stay in one vibrational frequency. And that joy that you would choose to feel in the present moment, which you can do so right now. You could feel that joy right now. That joy begins a process of altering and changing what you call the matter of your life, or the matters of this world. And you and all involved in the process of creation on this planet are consciously or unconsciously, deliberately or non-deliberately, manifesting all the conditions that you see in this physical dimension. Whether that be war or peace, whether that be sorrow or bliss. The emotional energies that you can choose to deliberately align yourself to in the moment and maintain that connection maintains the creative flow of that process. You cannot turn the water on and then turn the water off and then expect to get water when you turn it off. You must be willing to turn it on and leave it on if you want that flow. You must stay centered and steadfast in that energy of the vibration that you call having money. It is not the money you seek, it is the vibration that money would instill in you. But you must generate the vibration first in order for the effect to occur. For all emotion will become a form, but you must hold on to the emotional energy long enough for the form to take shape in your material experience. This is very simple and it's universal. Whatever emotion you will choose to hold fast to will create the existing conditions in which you find yourself. If you are willing to let go of emotions that no longer serve the conditions you wish to experience, then grasp emotions that would give you the joy, the love, the excitement, the compassion, the playfulness that you would like to experience, and stay in those, and stay in those, and then stay in those. You cannot go into the house and then out the door again and expect to be in the comfort of the home. You must draw the emotional energy into yourself, build it and strengthen it. That in and of itself will begin the process of change. But many of you go through the process of starting that. I feel abundant. I feel successful. I feel wealthy. I have great people in life. Many of you start that process and then you look at your world and it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. And you stop it. You must stay. You must stay in one focus, one vibration, and not detract, not keep looking. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Like little children in the back seat of a car. Wow. Sonny, if you can feel it, it will become your reality. Every emotional condition that we go through becomes a material experience of our life. When we connect to an emotion of fear, we experience things that are fearful. When we connect to an emotion of joy, we experience things that are joyful. And somebody asked us the other day, they said, well, what about when I want to go public speaking and I'm afraid? I'm afraid of public speaking. And we told them, that's not fear of public speaking. That is your fear of the energy that you have called forth to do the public speaking. Many of you will call forth these new vibrations and energies and suddenly get afraid or nervous when the changes begin to happen. And then you think there's something wrong. But no, in that case, the individual was calling forth, I wish to be a public speaker. And the energy came in and they were given an opportunity that showed up for them to publicly speak. And then they felt all this energy and they said, oh, I'm afraid of this energy. But what they did not realize is the energy is what they called forth. But in their judgment of that energy being fearful, they declined to take the opportunity because they did not understand that when you call forth the energy of opportunity, of joy, of love, it will come to you. And it will come to you in greater measure than you can imagine sometimes. And in that case, be willing to put aside your fear of these new energies when they come into you. And be willing to embrace them and go forward in that which you've chosen to do. Know that the energies come forth because you beckoned it to do so. Wow, fascinating. So the meditation that we did yesterday was pretty profound. The comments and the feedback that came from it were astounding. And I want to thank everybody that watched the video, that participated in the event yesterday, and those that are using it now on YouTube. Please watch the video on the guided meditation with Saint Germain on transmuting human collective fear. The fear, the emotions that we feel, remember, emotions are energy in motion. That's all emotions are. They're just energy in motion, and they can only go one of two ways. There's no way they cannot go other than either positive or negative. Emotion can only go in one of two directions, and you have the choice over which one you're going to give attention to. Now, a lot of us have a past life, this physical life, where we've had experiences that were painful, upsetting, hurtful, disappointing. And we carry those forward with us and then we form a belief that that's what life is. Life is not your past. Life begins right now for you. When you understand that fundamental principle, that life begins from this moment forward, and if you can maintain an awareness of the qualities of motion, you literally start to transform the world around you. And it can happen very quickly sometimes. I was saying to people the other day, because I always do really fun things, and I ask for guidance and information all the time. And so I'm walking down the street with our dog, and I start singing that song, "Bring Me a Higher Love," and all of a sudden this red car comes turning rapidly in front of me and stops to the right of me. And I look down, and on the license plate, it has this. On the license plate, it says the words "Love 15." And I'll just show, I don't know if you see it, if I can zoom in on this enough for you to see it. That's the vehicle there. You can just see the plate, Love 15. So when you start to really give attention and focus to an idea, it can happen instantly in your life. You want more money? Go into the feeling of what it is like to have more money and stay in that feeling, and do not let your attention be taken off anything else. Do not let things outside of you, and he's stressing this right now, do not let things outside of you pull you away from your throne. He's using those exact words. Do not let what is outside of you pull you off your throne. What do you mean by that? Your throne is the point in your awareness where you can control what you create as the manifestations of your life using emotional energy. There are many things in your world today that would have you live in fear, in doubt, in shame, in guilt, and uncertainty, and that benefits certain individuals. But it is time to surrender that, to surrender those attachments to those externalized generated ideas, and generate your own particular reality that you wish to experience in your physical realm. It is only as difficult as you make it. We do know that there are many that are in so entrenched in their fear and in their sadness, they believe that that's all that is, and they believe that they are that which they're in, and nothing could be further from the truth. For in order to be aware of your fear, in order to be aware of your sadness, in order to be aware of your joy or your love, to know that it is there means that you are not it, you are the observer of it. But what you do not know is that you have choice to say no to that. And I've had people come up to me and say, hey, but I can't stop being afraid. And we have them breathe for a few minutes, we have them relax, we have them quiet their mind, and suddenly they're going, oh, my fear is gone. But it takes practice. And then it comes back again, and they call us a few hours later, oh, my fear is back in. Do the process again. And they do the process again, and the fear is gone again. And it takes longer. And then they call us back and say, it's back in. Do the process. Quiet your body. Quiet your mind. Connect to joy. Connect to love. In your doing this, you are affecting matter, time, and space in ways that you may not fully understand yet. But we know that there's not one among you that cannot make these changes if you are willing to persist and stay in the moment and refuse to allow the dragons of your past to determine the beauty of your future. Too many of you do this and you are stuck. Tanya, how do we control our emotions when under stress with everyday life? I want to feel happy and joy, but just by thinking of it, I am attempting to channel my team by being still and having trouble. That's normal in the beginning stages. Like I say, we when I say we, I mean myself, my divine team, because they work through me and with me all the time in the courses we teach, in this program we're doing, in many other areas. The fundamental thing they have worked on, especially with me, because I used to have a lot of difficulty staying focused too, is there's actual process. Breathing. They said to me, the first thing you learn is to breathe and to drink lots of water. They said to me, breathing. When you assume control over your breathing, you have taken the first step in mastering the present moment. Because when you deliberately tell your body to breathe slowly and deeply, you are commanding the matter. And in your physical body are levels of consciousness that you have already mastered. You have mastered the level of solid consciousness. You've mastered the level of liquid consciousness. You've mastered the level of gaseous consciousness. And you're beginning to master the level of plasma and emotion. But this body, when you ask it to breathe, is following your command. You are the master of it. When you take a simple breath, do you not understand this? A simple breath puts you as the master in charge of the house. And they told me that breathing was really important. Deep, slow, intentional breathing. Keeping the body still and quiet was the next thing. Literally, and I tell you, like I was under psychiatric care for a few years when I was younger, and I went through a lot of other stuff that really, I had a mind that was all over the place. I didn't think I had any right to even exist. And those emotions were very difficult. And I tried suicide on multiple occasions in my younger years. In the process of getting the body to sit down and start breathing, your body, which is used to being afraid, it's used to being uncertain, it's used to having certain conditions and believing those conditions are going to be repeated over and over again. I had to sit while they just kept saying, stay still, keep your body still, keep your body quiet, relax, breathe. Anytime any negative emotions come up, take your attention off it, go back to your breath. And I literally would do that for hours at a time, just teaching my body to stay still and quiet. And all the while, of course, there's all those emotions trying to get my attention, all those thoughts from, well, what about this? Oh, you have to go do this? What about this? And you have to turn to those. And that was the next step they took me on, was then changing the mind, beginning to take authority over your thoughts, right? Which are mostly automatic for most people. They're saying 70% of the people on the planet, their thoughts happen automatically. There's nobody home to monitor their thoughts. there's nobody home to monitor their feelings, although they're aware of when they're present. They can feel upset or angry or frustrated without any reason, but the reason is they're not aware of their thoughts, and their thoughts create their emotions create their energies create their behavior. So they said then to go to the thoughts, going to the thoughts and getting the thoughts quieter, just turning my attention away from them. Oh, but what about, no, we're going to stay quiet. Oh, but what about, no, stay quiet. And I literally did that for hours and hours and hours, training the body, training the mind to become quiet. So to answer your question directly, Tanya, it's important to assume authority over this physical mechanism and the mind inside of it. That's mostly been made up by the world around you. You know, nobody was born with fear or guilt or shame or anger as who they are. That was taught to us by our environment, something we acquired, and now we can reprogram it. We can retrain the body and the mind to be different than what the environment conditioned it to be. Is it easy? Not always. Can it be? Yes, it gets easier. And it takes persistence and patience. He just sang, he said, it took me a long time. And it did. It took me about 20 years to get to where I am right now. And yet I have the opportunity to impart to you processes that they've shown me to shorten that time frame for you down significantly. You can literally have peace and joy in your mind and body in a few weeks if you really apply yourself to the simple things that he's talking about today. Learning to simply breathe. And some of you are thinking, well, how does this relate to transmuting the human collective unconscious fear? Once you have mastered this energy and you start to alter and change the emotional flow that you generate from a state of fear, from a state of guilt or shame or anxiety to a state of love and joy and excitement and enthusiasm, that energy goes through your nervous system. And then that energy flows out through your body as behaviors. All emotion creates a behavior. There's no exception to that. All emotion creates a behavior. Yes, I will. And we're going to get into this a little bit more after this, but right now we're going to do our 2 to 3 minute meditation on, well, transmuting the human collective of fear and restoring this planet to a state of love and grace. Not just the planet, but the global electric circuit. This is a movement we've created on Facebook called 1 Billion Strong. And every Saturday for 2 to 4 minutes, we do this short meditation of accessing and generating what we call a vibration or feeling of love as we understand it to be from our own personal experience. And every one of you has some inkling of what love is for you as a feeling. And so what you're going to do is you're going to access what that feeling of love is for you as a feeling. You're going to feel it as best you can within your body. And then you're going to expand it. We're going to have you breathe and expand that feeling to fill your body. And then we're going to have you expand that feeling to fill the space around your body. And then we're going to have you expand that feeling to surround the planet with that feeling that you know of as love from your own personal knowing. And this activity has several effects. One, it begins to entrain you in cultivating a vibration of love and how to begin to expand and intensify that type of energy in your consciousness deliberately and intentionally at any point of time and space. Once that energy, once that sense of energy that you call love is surrounding the world, we're going to have you intensify it and fill the planet and all that it contains with that energy as you know it. Now, you're going to notice there's going to be changes in your physiology as we go through the process. It's very short, and it just takes a few steps to follow. And we're going to begin in about 20 seconds. And the first step will be breathing and relaxing. So if you can, take a little sip of water before we start. Get your body comfortable in a position you'll be comfortable in for about 2 to 4 minutes. And then once you're in that position, let your body relax. Give all the muscles in your body permission to relax. And then take a slow, deep breath. Fill your lungs completely. Hold the breath. Allow tension to build. And then exhale. And feel your body relax as you exhale. You don't have to make the body relax when you exhale. It happens automatically. So take another slow, deep breath. Hold it. And exhale and let your body relax completely. Now move your awareness into a space in the middle of your head. Just move your awareness into a space in the middle of your head and just become aware of the space in the middle of your head. Let your body go deeper. Now in this space in the middle of your head, just make this sound. Very gently just ask the thoughts in your mind to stay quiet. Now breathe deeply again. And as you exhale, let your body relax even more. Now call upon a feeling of love as you understand it to be, or as you would desire it to be. Just bring forth that feeling of love as you understand it. Notice where you feel it most in your body. Now breathe deeply and expand that feeling to fill your body. As you exhale, expand that feeling out further to surround your body. Breathe deeply again and expand that feeling out even further to surround the room that your body is resting in. And as you exhale, imagine expanding that feeling to surround the entire physical earth. From this perspective, notice how your body feels in this vibration. Just be aware of how your body feels. Now draw in another breath and intensify this feeling of love around the earth as you breathe in. And as you exhale, allow that feeling to intensify into and around the entire planet. Now take a moment to be aware of the space that your body is occupying. And to that space that your body occupies, very gently think the following thought: I love you, even if I do not understand you. And I thank you for being a part of my life. Feel how the body responds to those thoughts. And then very gently breathe your energy back into the center of your body. Breathe your awareness back into your physical body. And when you're ready, just gently open your eyes, but allow yourself to stay present with any changes in how your body feels and how the space around your body feels. I want to thank you for participating in that. We do that every day at 12 p.m. and 12 a.m. You can also do it every hour on the hour if you like. I do it quite frequently throughout the day, and I do that process of engulfing the world with my vibration of love as I understand it, and all that's contained on this planet being imbued with that energy as well. When you understand, just like here I am here in Toronto, and I'm broadcasting this signal through this system, and the sound wave, which goes 756 miles an hour, goes through this little microphone, goes through the electrons, comes out your end in the speakers, and you feel the vibration of my voice and the voice of Master Saint Germain going through and imparting itself into you through your ears. And even though we are so far apart, we are also very close together. And this is true for all beings, that we are never really apart. We are all in a unified field of endless consciousness. And when you understand that, then how you choose to conduct yourself, how you choose to use your energy, the type of thoughts you choose to think, you begin to realize that I'm not just thinking for myself, I'm also impacting the atoms in this body, which in turn send out electrical waves that impact the energy of the space around me, much the same way as a sound wave does. So it's important to understand that you can learn to change what you feel in the present moment anytime you choose. It will take practice for some of you who've been stuck in fear or anger or uncertainty. You have to retrain your mind to let those emotions go and connect and stay focused and grounded in those emotions of joy, of happiness, of excitement, of excess. How would it feel if you had everything you wanted right now, to stay in that? Which is the question they asked me many years ago. They said, how would you feel if you had everything you wanted? Right? And of course, I would feel really good. And wouldn't anybody? If you really had what you really wanted, wouldn't you feel awesome? So having what you want is a really good thing. How you get it should be a surprise. And that's one of the beautiful things about life, is life, if you allow it to, will give you the things you want in ways that make you go, yeah, that's really cool. Like that car showing up that way at that time, at that moment, made me surprised. And that surprise made me feel joy. And that joy made me feel, yeah, this is a real reality. Life manifests for us, not against us, unless we believe that it does. Okay, so we're going to go back to questions and answers, as we got quite a few building up here. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Jessica. Yes, I didn't even, Jessica, they just said yes. Yeah. He's just saying, stay deeply connected to your joy and your, what's the word? Stay deeply connected to your joy and your playfulness around learning and exploring new realms in your world. It is important for you to stay connected to the joy. That will take you through. That will make your success inevitable. For who would not want to be pursuing more joy if they were feeling it? Yes, that's wonderful, Janine. Thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, that meditation yesterday and is so powerful. And any of the meditations that they've brought through me that are on my YouTube channel will change and transform your life. Though all the fundamental things that they've taught me, you can learn through those meditations. I mean, just a simple act of breathing is an act of you asserting authority over matter. This body's not who you are. It's an instrument that you're using. Please understand this, and you can change it, alter it to suit your needs. There are people on this planet that are healing their bodies of conditions that were thought incurable, just because they're beginning to understand that the body is an instrument that follows a certain pathway depending on the quality of the emotions that are moving through it. Emotions are energy in motion. They go through your nervous system and they go into the world. And if you're, oh, my back is killing me, and you look for your back, you'll find your backache all the time. It's really important to understand that you want to keep your focus and attention on the joy and the bliss and the happiness of your being, and let your cells in your body feel your intention, because they will. They do all the time. You watch a movie that's really exciting. Oh, yeah, they won. And watch a movie that's really scary. Oh, you get scared. Your nervous system will only react to the information that's being presented to it. So stay away from things that instill and generate fear. Stay away from it. Stay away from any media system that's trying to project fear into the world, because fear literally keeps you in a state of powerlessness, in the belief that you can't create what you want or need, and nothing can be further from the truth. So you can start filling your mind. Watch programs. There's programs like this new program that Gwyneth Paltrow just released called the Goop Lab. There's Gaia TV. There's all kinds of different media mechanisms you can use to fill your mind. There's Oprah's new network that can fill your mind with joy and excitement and possibility. If you can't do it on your own, then expose yourself to that so that you get your body gets taught that from other senses. Your body was taught by the environment when you were born, right? You can use the environment to teach it the things you knew, but just be selective of what you're going to allow in your experience. Be selective. So yes, you will succeed in your courses from a perspective of joy. Carolyn, how am I able to decipher my own thoughts to messages from spiritual? Oh, thank you for asking that question, Carol. He's very excited about this. It is important that you understand in the initial stages, there is no distinction between the internal auditory perception of your voice and ours. This is something you have to acquire. But what you might find is recognizing the difference in the equality or the original ideas of these thoughts. When you begin to recognize and feel the difference between where a thought originated from, as this one has learned to do, there are many thoughts that he receives that he knows are not his. He knows it is us. And there are many of us around all of you. So in the initial stages of that process of learning to distinguish between when we are communicating to you and when you're listening to your own thoughts, in the beginning, it's very difficult to make that distinction because you're only used to perceiving everything that comes in your head in that frame, in that process. So you must become more vigilant, more aware of questioning, where's this thought originating from? Many of you are stuck with your thoughts from your past originating, and you believe your past is more real. But if you are attuned to a quality of thought, you will notice the difference in the quality of thought. And this is where you can begin that process. Mm-hmm. Also, if you want, you can go to my website and go to our courses and classes and look at some of the stuff we teach, because we do have a course, a 3-level course that teaches people over a 21-week process of how to actually do that. And these courses are going to change your life. Like I recommend you go do that. If you really, really want to learn to make that distinction, come in. We got groups of mediums that work with us. It's in an intensive learning environment. Learn the process. There's schools for that. And then there's not just what we teach. There's other schools out there that are teaching similar processes for you to make those distinctions between the physical self that you think you are and the spiritual being that is you, soul. The word soul is an acronym for Spirit of Universal Light or Love. That's what you are. You are a spirit of universal light and love. You are an awareness working through a physical medium, utilizing an energy called emotion to create experiences in this physical world. And as you gain more and more awareness and knowledge of the non-physical self that you are, it makes it easier for you to perceive the non-physical beings that are always around us. They're just not on the same wavelength as your physical eyes see or your physical ears hear, but they're on a wavelength of awareness that you can train yourself to be aware of. There's a process of what we call the four primary clairs: clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, clairsentience, which are different non-physical senses that you have, different senses you have for appraising the non-physical dimensions of consciousness and then interpreting it down, once you understand how to interpret it down into this realm, to share that information with others, which is what we do. But yeah, go check out the courses and classes on my website, williammichaelforbes.com. Susie, always anything that you do that changes your existing perception of reality, provided that is a conscious choice on your part, will always result in growth. Your system, your physical body, prefers that which it is comfortable with. And what you really wish to do is move into that which would offer you the opportunity to experience change. For change will allow you to grow. You cannot manifest anything new from what you already know. You cannot change from what you already know. You must experience something different to learn something new. And most people fear that process because they prefer to stay in the comfort of what they know. But the comfort of what they know becomes the discomfort of what they don't know. Because what you don't know is what will help you grow. This is a great question, SJK. How should I deal with the fake clouds created by chemtrails which are blocking out the sun? Should I just worry about raising my own vibration, or should I try to talk to others about the problem? Always Always, it is your vibration that is determining the conditions. We have beautiful blue skies here. We have beautiful blue skies here. That's what we see. That's what we experience. Those things that you call chemtrails, while they are a manifestation of one form of individuals' expression of creation and utilizing emotional energy in one form, you do not have to allow yourself to be engaged in or caught up in the ideas or vibrations or manifestations that many have formulated wrongly sometimes about what this is, what these actually mean. Yes. Stay focused in the love and in the higher frequencies of vibration that you wish to be your expression and your experience. For if you are focused on the joy and the light of your life, then you are more likely to create more of that in your world and influence other people in that way. But if you choose to continue to focus on the meanings of fear and idea and doubt and uncertainty, then you are just joining the norm. You're just joining the suffering of many. And it's needless. Your suffering is needless. We would not recommend that you get caught up in any form of fear or concern. Those clouds that you call overhead, you can change them, you can alter them. Humans do not realize that their emotions collectively are influencing this planet that you call Earth. You are influencing it every single moment with what you feel. Hi, Christina. That's okay, Christina. Understand. Thank you. He wants to say this to you, dear one. Go gently in your mind. Breathe gently in your body. Be gentle with that noise. Be gentle with it. Just very gently ask your mind to be still and quiet. And then keep it that way. And if it wishes to speak, shh. We always say this. Put your mouth and finger together. Shh. Ask your mind. Shh. You can feel this now if you do this. Shh. You are what you observe, dear one. Take your attention off it. Even if it clamors and screams for you to give it attention, say, no, I will not. I will not look at that fear. I will not look at that thought about what might happen tomorrow. I won't look at that thought about what happened yesterday. I'm going to stay right here, right now, and I'm going to breathe and be in this moment. And you do that, and you do that, and you do that, and then you become that, and then it becomes you. And then your mind and your body are yours again. They always were. They still are. But you must now teach them and re-educate them on how they are to be for you now, because they've been miseducated and mistaught, and now you must reteach them to be that which you need them to be. And it's really true. I've spent hours sometimes just to get my mind quiet. But what about, no, shh. And you actually go through that process. But what about this? No. Breathe. But what about, no, relax. And you literally go through a process, and over a period of time, it's like you're learning a new skill. If you've been conditioned to be afraid, angry, and upset, you have to retrain your body and mind to not be that way. It's an animal. It's like your body's like an animal. It's like a dog or a cat. It's been taught how to read. It's been taught how to write. It's been taught how to speak. It's been taught how to laugh and cry. It's been taught those things. It's been taught how to jump or to run or to play or to be a skydiver or be a pianist or be anything that it's been taught to be. And you can retrain it, right? If you were to practice for a week, writing with your opposite hand and doing the best you could every day to improve it, you would notice at the end of a week, you'd feel a change in how you can write with the opposite hand. Well, you're going to go through a similar process in teaching your emotional mind, your mental field, your brain, to think differently, because it's trained to think the way it's thinking about life, your life right now. And as you practice and apply that process of keeping your mind in the present moment, we're going to think about more joy in my life. I'm going to think about what things would make me happy right now. And I'd like to know some ways to create that happiness. And I'm going to stay focused on that type of thinking. And eventually your brain will automatically start to go there. It'll become accustomed to doing that. But you have to teach it. You have to teach it, and it will take some time. We know this thing called time exists here. Kate, I'm not sure, Kate. From my personal experience, I've always felt the lives are very powerful. The live meditations, when they happen, are very powerful. They're talking about having us do some of these during the week on my YouTube channel. I just haven't figured out the logistics of it yet, but they're saying they would like to bring more of the live stuff through. But even they're saying there's no reason that you cannot get equal measure of good out of even the replays of these things, for the replay contains the holographic completeness of that which we presented in the first place. Nicole. Oh, that's wonderful, Nicole. Thank you. Giovanna, any advice on? He's just saying keep going, Giovanna. He just says keep going. Yours is more of a path of feeling. You have to get the correct feeling so that you can clearer see the path that you have chosen prior to your receiving the contradictory information in your mind from your upbringing. Connect to the feelings that will make your path clearer to you. Oh, hi, Patricia. Hi, Trish. Oh, Trish, the meditation is on my YouTube channel, and it was posted up yesterday, and it's called Transforming the Collective Fear of Humanity, I believe. And it's on my YouTube channel. It's the most recent one. Hello, Angela. Hello, Drusilla. Deirdre, you'd be surprised. You've got an eternity. You really do. We all, like, literally, this body is, I mean, look at this physical body. This body is going through a process of its organic animal process. There's not an animal on the planet that lives forever. This is an animal body. Gaia gave this planet. The earth gave you this body, right? The earth gave you this body. You are inhabiting it right now. When the form ceases to exist, you do not cease to exist. You might not be conscious you exist when you leave the body if you're not aware that you're not the body. That's why we always emphasize that it's important that you understand that your body is an instrument for your consciousness. It is not who you are. And the more you know this, the more you learn to travel around, the more you learn to reconnect to the other realms of consciousness that you belong to, you will find yourself being able to leave peacefully from this form. You will not leave anything behind. You will not become unconscious, which many of you do. It's why so many of you come back, is you have not actualized your awareness as the conscious being that you truly are. As a result, you go to sleep when you leave the body, and you wake up back in the body. But you don't have the option to go elsewhere because you're not conscious of that choice. You must be consciously choosing to be consciously experiencing. You must consciously choose. Wonderful to hear that, Trish. Yes, you can do that. You can set an alarm every day, the reminder at 12 a.m., 12 p.m. But again, I do it many times a day. Like I literally, right now I can move my awareness, and I just feel this incredible love and gratitude for being right now. And I can just move into that right now and literally the minute you embrace the planet from a perspective of love, the whole system, even on the quantum level, responds. And that's the first level. The quantum particles, before they become atoms and electrons and protons, there's a quantum level that your brain begins to organize first and foremost. And it's those quantum particles, what most people don't realize, it goes through this process of, matter goes through a process of organization from the nearly invisible state to the visible state that we see right now. But we see that process in the gestation period in the womb. We see a single cell suddenly multiply. But the cell gets provided with the organic materials from the mother's body, so it's always got the energy feeding it, so it grows. Your ideas and your emotions require your attention and awareness to them in order for them to have a lasting effect in your material world. So if you're giving attention to a state of joy, you go, I'm going to spend this whole day in joy, and I'm going to spend this whole day in joy. And you go around smiling and moving like you're in joy, and then something happens and suddenly you fall out of joy. And then you decide to jump back into your joy again. So you have to do that repeatedly until it becomes a habit. And it does. It takes time. But you organize matter with your attention immediately. Once you put your thought on I'm going to close the hand. That matter immediately starts. I'm going to open the hand. I'm going to close the hand. The matter's organizing from the subatomic level to that physical hand, right? They say the impulse signals from the brain go from the brain through the nervous system to the hand. I would differ with that to some degree, but there's a measurable flow of energy from your idea to the physical manifestation, and it starts off with the flow of electrons. But the flow of electrons started off with the organization of subatomic particles and quantum particles. And when you understand that you can organize matter that fast, when Master Jesus says, you can say to the mountain, move thee hence, and it shall move, we literally have that capability innately within us, but very few have cultivated the knowledge, skill, or understanding to fully apply it practically. I mean, most people can't even handle the day-to-day affairs of their physical lives in this one little body. And how are you going to believe that you can move a mountain or create a whole new solar system if you don't believe you can handle your life? Oh, Renati, thank you so much. He's saying, I would be happy, dear one. You must call forth this fear and communicate your love to it. He's saying, call forth that fear and communicate your love to it. Allow that fear to be the receiver of your love, and you will feel that fear transform. And from a scientific, from a practice standpoint, say that your fear is this glass of water, right? And and we'll say that the freezer, I'm going to put this glass of water in a freezer, and that freezer we'll call the freezing temperature in there a vibration called love. So now I put this glass of water in that vibration of love, or in the freezer. The glass of water does not have to do anything. The freezer, that energy from the freezer automatically transforms that into ice. So the vibration that you call fear is kind of like that water. And that vibration that you know of as love is the vibration like the freezer. If you're willing to identify the fear and then cultivate a vibration of love and just continue to put that vibration of love at the fear, you don't have to do anything other than that. The fear in and of itself is just going to receive the vibration, and it will be transformed. You can do this right now, he's saying. You can literally call that fear forth, breathe deeply, transmit a vibration of love, and you will feel the fear diminish. He says you'll feel the fear diminish somewhat. If you do it more, it will be more so, much the same way as if you put this water in the freezer for 20 minutes and it only partially froze and there's still water. You keep it going until it's frozen. So you keep applying the process till you feel the fear has completely transmuted, and it will. Thank you, brother. I love him. Christine, no, that's wonderful. Wow. You ladies are amazing. Great questions today, everybody. Oh, yes. Speaking of courses, I should address that right now. Get rid of that. So, yeah, so I want to talk a bit about our mediumship courses. We're on the second level. We are right now are offering our mediumship 102 courses, and we have 2 start dates for that. The first start date is Saturday, March the 14th. And the second start date is Saturday, April the 4th. This is our intermediate program, but anybody can come into the intermediate program. And you have to take either at least the intermediate program. Nobody can come into the 103 program until they've done it, either the 101 or the 102 course, because it'd be just too much to understand and comprehend when you get the 103. But the 102 course, there is still practicing going on in the basic levels from 101, but we've taken up to a whole level where you get a chance to release and let go of all of your old past emotional blocks. That means all the guilt, all the shame, all the anger, all the stuff you've been holding in your subconscious mind that keeps popping up and making your life difficult sometimes. We show you how to actually literally transform and transmute that in a really short time frame. The course runs for 3 weeks, and literally it is life-changing. And if you've seen some of the comments from some of the people that have taken the course in this session, you can communicate with them directly. They'll tell you their personal experience. You are not put on this planet to suffer. You came here to experience your capabilities in creating. We all came here to experience our own capabilities in what we could create. Now, there's no rules that say you have to create only good. The process is just learning how to create. Now, if you learn to create conditions and experiences that make you suffer, Well, that will teach you something about creation as equally as creating something that makes you feel great joy. That will teach you something about creating. But ultimately, you have to learn, what do I want to create as my experience, as an ongoing experience and expression of my life? And you can learn to do that once you've learned to master the mind, let go of the old stuff from your past. Your past should never be in your present, and your past should never be in your future. Your future is supposed to be what you create from the present moment. Your past is behind you. Leave it there. And we teach you how to do that, how to let it go, how to transform it. You don't have to get rid of memories. You can just release the negative emotions that's connected to your past, and then you can move forward into the present process of creating the life of your dreams. So I invite you to come out to those courses and classes. Also, if you want some one-on-one time with me, I offer readings. The cost of the course is $199 US for the 3 weeks. And please go to the website, register. Don't waste your time. You can change your life so rapidly. It doesn't have to take a long time. And if you want to have one-on-one time with me, I do private readings. You can go to my website and book that as well. And I charge $111 US an hour for that. And again, I want to thank everybody for showing up today. The questions, this seems to keep getting bigger and bigger every week, that I can't get to all the questions. And I really want to. Let's see. One more question. Yes, always look forward. Wonderful. That's great. You guys are awesome. Wow. So again, if this program has benefited you in some way, please leave comments on the wall after it's posted it's going to have to be reposted on my video as a video. If you like the channel, please like and subscribe. Share this information with other people. We are here to bring about this process of ascension as a deliberate, intelligent, conscious, and loving process for humanity. Humanity is done with the old fear paradigm. We don't have to play it over again. We're done. We can literally change that paradigm, and we are doing it. And there are many beings on this planet, millions of us, in fact, that are in this process of transforming consciousness from a fear-based expression to a love-based manifestation, the deliberate and intentional creating of our experiences. So I want to wish everybody much love today. I want to thank you again for coming out, and I hope to see you in the courses and classes. And if not, I'll see you one-on-one some point in time. Much love. Bye for now.